creator of Happy Abundant Freedom. In this video, I want to share with you how to focus so that you can really achieve the things that you want in life. So, the big secret to focusing, stop multitasking. And if you think about it, a lot of times people tell us, and even employers, they require that people are good multitaskers. Now, imagine if you're in the emergency room. Perhaps you've been there before. I know I've been a few times. And the thing is, when you're in the emergency room, and perhaps it's yourself, perhaps it's somebody that you care about, your family, your friend, you want that doctor's undivided attention. Imagine how you would feel if that emergency room doctor is trying to save lives and that doctor's, texting on the phone or chatting with somebody while trying to analyze this person's emergency issue. How would that feel? Probably not that good. You want that doctor's undivided attention so that that emergency issue can be treated as soon as possible. And I don't know if you've been in surgery before, or I have. Just imagine if the surgeon was operating on you and they're trying to learn how to dance at the same time, multitask. And they're trying to learn how to dance, they're moving, they're like, alright, I'm going to learn this new move. Alright, oh, whoops, I can't open that artery. Oh, now she's bleeding out. Oh gosh. That wouldn't go over so well. So why do we allow ourselves to multitask? Just because we're not perhaps emergency room doctors or surgeons or that might affect physical lives, we should still value our time because our time is something that we're never going to get back. And everybody has 24 hours, so if you're able to focus and stop multitasking, you'll be able to accomplish so much more. Now, when I first started teaching students study skills as to how they can do better in school, I found that a lot of them have this big question: how do I focus? I get distracted so easily. And it's no wonder. Well, this is how a lot of times they study. They'll study with the phone next to them, and so they can clearly see, oh, I have a new message from my friend. Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to reply to that. Okay, let's do that. Oh, Facebook just had something. Oh, I got to reply to that too. Or perhaps they're studying, they're doing homework, and they're listening to music. And they're like, yeah, this is a great song. I'm studying, I'm singing along to this music as well. It just doesn't work that well. And so, if you think about it, maybe to you it doesn't seem like a lot of time to simply reply to your friend's text, or just surf the net or social media sites. But the thing is, even though it might take only, 15, 20 seconds, maybe a minute, 2 minutes to respond to that, a study by Microsoft employees has shown that each time that you distract yourself and move away from that task that you are doing and go do something else, if you were to come back to that task, which requires some mental work on it, it actually takes you 15 minutes to go back to that. So imagine if throughout the day you got 4 text messages that you replied to. Alright, each time that you reply to that text message or social media updates, then that means you're losing 15 minutes. So 4 times 15 minutes, that's an hour each day that you're losing. And even music. A lot of times people think, okay, music's fine, it gets me in a good mood, I can produce better. But the problem is, a lot of people listen to music that include lyrics. The thing with lyrics, though, is that if you're listening to songs and you are singing along, well, that requires your brain to divide itself in terms of its effort. So, if you're singing along to things, so you have to think of the words that you have to say, and then you're hearing the music, so that requires some part of your brain capacity too. And you actually have to say it or sing it. So, all of that, it takes away from that 100% effort that your brain could have given to the task that you were devoted on. So let's say perhaps just the simple act of singing requires about 10% of your brain capacity, or maybe 20%. So that means really you're only giving about 80 to 90% of your true effort on that task that you're trying to accomplish. And I don't know about you, but usually I mostly hear people to try and aim for 100% result, as opposed to 80% or 90% in life. So really, if you're trying to go for that 100% to really do what you want, stop listening to music that have lyrics and sing along. And so a lot of times people will ask me, well, how are you able to focus and get so much done? And I simply tell them, well, first off, I don't have my phone next to me. In fact, my phone is out of sight and it's silent, so I can't see it and I can't hear it. In fact, my family has complained that sometimes they can't reach me just because I'm so focused on that sense. And the other thing too, I don't listen to music, alright? I don't listen to music with lyrics at least, especially if I'm concentrating. So I take those and leave them out of my sight so that I don't get distracted. And now, I know that a lot of times we're trying to focus, but there might be thoughts that might pop up in your head as to what you should do. So what people often do is that, oh yeah, I have to do that. Let me go do that. And then they get distracted and go do that thing. Now, when they come back to this task that they were originally focused on, they just lost 15 minutes because they're trying to get back into it. So what I do is I think of this thing that maybe popped into my head, alright? I will write it down. I don't even think about how I'm going to approach it or what I should do about it. I just simply write it down on a notepad. And later on, once I'm complete this task that I'm doing, then I'll go and refer back to that. And one of the greatest things that you could do in terms of being able to focus and actually getting it done is to set a deadline for yourself. Set a deadline for the task that you have. So look at this task that you have to complete and think of how long it'll take you. Maybe it'll be 10 minutes, 15, 30 minutes, an hour. Whatever that may be, have a deadline in mind. Because if you have a deadline, then your brain and your subconscious is going to work together to try and meet that deadline. So if you give yourself a mental deadline, you'll likely be able to accomplish things much faster. And so oftentimes if I'm producing content, I'm creating training, etc., I'll give myself a deadline. You know what? I need to shoot this many videos in this amount of time. And then I find that I'm able to perform better when filming the videos. And it takes fewer cuts, fewer versions of the videos. So really, in this sense, you're able to accomplish what you want and in a shorter amount of time. Now, the thing is, with focus, some people think, okay, so I should focus. I shouldn't distract myself. And so I'll sit there for 2, 3, 4 hours until I finish whatever it is that I have to accomplish. Now, your body still does need to rejuvenate, refresh itself every once in a while. So what I would suggest you do is to take a 5-minute break every 60 to 90 minutes. Alright? It's the 60 to 90 minutes, it's long enough for you to focus, but it's short enough so that your brain doesn't start to decrease in terms of its mental capacity. It does need some rejuvenation after a while. So for that 5 minutes, get up, walk around, and that's when you can go and you can check your text messages, or you can listen to your music, or whatever you wrote down in terms of what you have to deal with, you can go look at that and determine how you want to deal with that. So my strategy for you is really figure out, okay, what's that one thing that you have to do right now? And then figure out what's the deadline for it. How long is that task going to take you? Okay, so once you have that, put away your phone, put away whatever electronic devices that surround you, and try not to listen to music, especially with lyrics, because that's going to distract you as well. And then simply just focus on doing that one task. Now, perhaps you do need a break in between, so take a 5-minute break every 60 to 90 minutes. And then once you finish that task, move on to the next task. So you can do that today. You can simply write down 5 things that you have to do today in order of priority, and then give a deadline for each, and then simply just go do that task, that first task, until you finish it, and then move on to the second task. Now please post in the comment section below this video as to what you thought of the strategy and what the results were after you implement it. You know what, just give it a try. It's not going to hurt you. It might actually be able to provide you with better results in a shorter amount of time. I've also included some resources below this video that you can check out as to how you can focus even better, some more tips and strategies for you. So please check that out in the resource section below. And if you have a friend or a family member who's having a hard time focusing, then share this video with them just to help them really stop multitasking and focus so that they can accomplish the things that they want in life. In the meantime, here's to you creating more happiness, abundance, and freedom in your life and your community.